Earth's seat was always empty, because the galaxy forgot, we bow to no one. Best HFY Stories. The grand chamber of the Citadel of Stars shimmered with soft blue light. Tall pillars of crystal curved toward a ceiling that looked like a living sky. Stars moved across it in slow patterns, showing the map of the known galaxy. Hundreds of alien delegates sat in rising circles around the central floor. Each species had its own shape, size, and color. Some breathed mist, some glowed faintly, some floated above their seats. In the very center of the chamber stood a single empty chair. It was made of pale stone shot through with veins of green crystal. Unlike the other seats, it had no guards, no banners, no living representative. A small metal plate rested at its base. The name on it read, Earth. For thousands of cycles, the seat had remained empty. Many younger species did not even know why it was there. To them, it was only decoration, a strange symbol of the past. The older species remembered more, though they rarely spoke of it. Long ago, deep space probes had found a world rich in water and oxygen. The world had been loud with radio signals and signs of rapid growth. Its people were emotional, divided, and often violent. The conquered had observed them for a short time. Then the signals stopped. Wars had been predicted. Ecological collapse had been expected. The conquered archives recorded Earth as a failed civilization. The seat had been carved out of tradition, not respect. It was a reminder of what happened when a species destroyed itself before reaching the stars. Over time, even that warning faded into myth. On this day, the chamber was full. Delegates argued over trade routes near the outer spiral arm. A tall, silver-skinned being from the Averin Collective spoke in calm tones about shared resources. Across from it, a heavy-bodied representative of the Drathari War Consortium clicked its armored claws against the floor in annoyance. Smaller species watched carefully, afraid of choosing the wrong side. Above them all, the floating moderators projected light patterns that kept order. No one paid attention to the empty chair. Far beyond the citadel, in the dark between systems, space bent in silence. There was no bright flash, no violent tear. Instead, a ripple moved across the fabric of reality, smooth and controlled. A line of massive ships slipped out of folded space, as if stepping through a door only they could see. They were not shaped like the elegant crescent vessels of the conquered. They were not organic like the living ships of the hive species. These ships were angular and solid. Their hulls were dark gray metal layered with visible plating. Rows of engine ports glowed with steady white light. At the center of the formation traveled a ship larger than the rest. Its hull bore a simple emblem, a blue sphere with a white arc across it. The ship's name was Resolute Dawn. On the bridge, Admiral Ethan Cole stood near the forward display. He was tall, with short dark hair touched by gray at the sides. His uniform was plain compared to the bright armor of many alien officers. It was navy blue with a small silver insignia at the collar. He did not smile. He did not frown. His expression was calm. Around him, officers moved with quiet focus. Captain Madison Brooks stood at the command console, her fingers moving across a holographic interface. Streams of alien data flowed across the screen. She had light brown skin and sharp, watchful eyes. She had studied the conquered for years. "They have not detected us yet," she said in a steady voice. "Their outer sensors are active, but they are tuned to standard jump signatures. Ours do not match." Admiral Cole nodded once. "Maintain low output, no sudden movements." At the communication station, Ambassador Lena Morales adjusted the translation matrix. She wore civilian attire instead of a military uniform. Her dark hair was tied back neatly. Her job was not to fight, but to speak. "Language libraries are ready," she said. "We have compiled over 800 dialect structures. We can adapt in real time." Ethan looked at the main display. The Citadel of Stars rotated slowly ahead of them, a massive ring structure built around a glowing artificial star. It was beautiful in a distant way. It was also a symbol of power. For centuries, humanity had watched it from afar. Earth had not destroyed itself. It had nearly done so many times. Wars had scarred its surface. Climate disasters had shaken its people. Disease had tested them. Division had nearly broken them. But they had endured. When alien probes were first discovered hidden near the edge of their solar system, panic had spread across the planet. Then anger, then fear. Governments argued, conspiracy theories bloomed. Some wanted to attack the stars, others wanted to hide forever. In the end, survival guided them. Instead of sending loud signals into space, humanity grew quiet. They stopped broadcasting. They shut down deep space transmissions. They let the galaxy think they were gone. Behind that silence, they worked. Global conflicts slowly gave way to cooperation. It was not perfect. It was not easy. But facing the idea that they were not alone forced them to grow up as a species. They studied the alien probes in secret labs built under mountains and beneath oceans. They learned about subspace distortions. They learned about energy shields. They learned about faster-than-light theory. Then they improved it. Their ships were not designed for beauty. They were designed to survive damage. Their weapons were not built for ceremony. They were built for function. Now, after centuries of preparation, they had come. Distance to Citadel? Ethan asked. 200,000 kilometers, Madison replied. We can enter visual range in 3 minutes. Open a secure fleet channel. A soft tone filled the bridge as captains across the formation joined the network. This is Admiral Cole, Ethan said calmly. We will approach in standard formation. No weapons locks. No shield spikes. We are not here to start a war, but if they fire, we respond with precision. Understood, a chorus of acknowledgments followed. Ambassador Morales looked toward the Admiral. They will be afraid. They have reason to be cautious, Ethan answered. We are an unknown fleet appearing at the center of their territory. And if they refuse us, she asked quietly. Ethan's eyes remained on the Citadel. Then we remind them we are not a memory. Inside the Grand Chamber, a low hum interrupted the debate. One of the floating moderators flickered with sudden static. Symbols flashed across its surface in bright warning colors. The Averin delegate paused mid-sentence. There is a disruption in the outer sensor array. The Drathari representative let out a harsh clicking sound. Pirates. Another moderator projected an image above the chamber floor. The image showed a dark formation of ships moving in clean lines toward the Citadel. Silence fell. No known design matched those vessels. No transponder codes appeared beside them. No diplomatic request preceded their arrival. They are within inner defense range, one technician announced from a side platform. The Drathari delegate rose to its full height. Activate perimeter cannons. Wait, said the Averin calmly. We do not know their intent. The chamber lights dimmed as defensive systems powered up across the station. In the center of the room, the empty chair remained still. Back on the Resolute Dawn, warning signals lit up across the bridge. They have powered weapons, Madison reported. Targeting arrays are scanning us. Ethan folded his hands behind his back. Hold course. A tension spread through the human fleet, but no one broke formation. Admiral, Lena said softly, this is the moment. He nodded once. Send the greeting. Across every frequency used by the conquered, a signal burst outward. It was layered with translation algorithms and simple mathematical patterns to show intelligence. The projection systems inside the grand chamber glowed brightly. A human figure appeared in the center of the floor. Gasps and sharp alien sounds echoed around the room. Lena Morales stood in holographic form before them. She appeared small compared to many of the towering species present, but her posture was straight. She waited for the translation matrix to settle. When she spoke, her voice carried clearly in simple, even tones. We greet the leaders of the Galactic conquered. The chamber remained frozen in shock. My name is Lena Morales. I represent the United Nations of Earth. The words seemed to echo against the walls. Earth. Several elder delegates shifted in their seats. Ancient memories stirred in dusty archives. That world was declared lost, one whispered. The Drathari delegate leaned forward. Impossible. Their signals ended centuries ago. Lena continued without raising her voice. We are aware that a seat was prepared for our species. We are aware that it has remained empty. The projection shifted slightly, showing an image captured by human telescopes, the grand chamber and the empty chair at its center. We have come to claim it. A wave of noise rolled through the chamber. On the bridge of the Resolute Dawn, Ethan watched the live feed. His expression did not change. Inside the chamber, the Averin delegate lifted a slender hand. If you are truly from Earth, explain your silence. Why did you vanish from observation? Lena met its gaze. We did not vanish, she said. We listened. She allowed the words to settle. You believed we destroyed ourselves. You believed we were too divided to survive. You stopped watching closely. Images flashed behind her. Earth's oceans, cities rebuilding after storms, international crews working together in orbit, shipyards hidden in lunar shadow. We faced disaster many times, she continued. We fought, we failed, we learned. We changed, the Drathari delegate's voice rumbled, and now you arrive with warships at our door. Our ships are armed, Lena replied plainly. Your galaxy is not peaceful. We prepared for that reality. She did not smile. But we did not come to conquer. Back in the chamber, some delegates slowly turned their attention toward the empty chair. For the first time in centuries, it did not look like a relic. It looked like a question. Outside, the human fleet held position, silent and steady against the glow of the artificial star. Inside, the galaxy faced a truth it had forgotten. Earth had never been dead. It had been waiting. The chamber was quiet, except for the low hum of the Citadel's systems. Delegates looked at each other, uneasy. Some had never seen humans before. Some had only heard stories passed down in archives. They were small, fragile creatures in many ways, yet their appearance carried confidence. Their ships in orbit were not massive like the Drathari war vessels, but their precision and formation suggested careful planning and deadly potential. The Drathari delegate clicked its claws against the floor, the sound sharp and threatening. You say you have waited. You say you have watched, yet your people vanished for centuries. How can we trust you? Lena Morales kept her calm posture. She raised a hand slightly, speaking slowly. You do not need to trust us. You only need to see the truth. The projection behind her shifted, showing images of Earth across the ages. Cities rebuilt after storms. Bridges stretched across wide rivers. Fields of crops swayed in the wind. Ships launched from orbit, orbiting the moon and Earth in formation, practicing maneuvers with precision. The galaxy forgot us, Lena said, but we did not forget it. In orbit above the Citadel, the human fleet moved silently, holding its positions. Each ship mirrored the movements of the flagship, Resolute Dawn. Their energy signatures were small, almost invisible. They were not attempting to hide. They simply had mastered a technology the galaxy did not expect. Ethan Cole stood on the bridge of Resolute Dawn. His eyes scanned the displays, noting the reactions of the alien fleets. He did not need words. His officers could read the tension in the Citadel's systems as clearly as if it were their own. Preparations complete, Ethan asked. Ready, Madison Brooks replied. All ships in defensive formation. Shields at low power to avoid detection spikes. Weapons offline unless engaged. If they fire, our countermeasures will disable targeting arrays immediately. Good, Ethan said. We are not here to fight yet, but we will not bow either. Ambassador Morales watched the feed of the chamber closely. She could see the smaller species leaning forward, eyes wide. The older delegates were frowning. None could deny that humans had survived, and that survival had made them strong. Your silence was dangerous, A tall, gray-skinned delegate said, its voice cold. You let the galaxy think you were extinct. Many plans were made assuming your disappearance. Entire fleets were deployed to prevent your return. Plans change, Lena said. We adapt. And you will see that adaptation is not weakness, it is strength. The Drathari delegate's claws scraped again. Show us then. If you are so strong, if your people are truly alive, prove it. Ethan Cole had anticipated this moment. He pressed a single key, and the communication feed widened to include the outer orbital space. The Citadel's delegates gasped as the view shifted. Human ships moved as one, weaving and spinning, firing simulated energy pulses that disrupted the targeting systems of their own orbiting drones. The holographic images showed a coordinated display that was both beautiful and terrifying. Madison Brooks explained, "These ships are designed for precision. Our weapons can disable enemy targeting without destroying ships. Our shields adapt to energy output instantly. Your fleets cannot lock on effectively. You may have size and power, but we have coordination, strategy, and adaptability." A murmur ran through the chamber. The Drathari delegate hissed, its claws curling in frustration. Even the Averin collective appeared tense, their voices overlapping in rapid signals. Lena Morales continued, "We did not come to fight, but we cannot allow false assumptions to continue. Humanity is here. Humanity has survived, and humanity will not bow to anyone." For decades, the conquered had believed humans fragile. They had predicted failure, division, and extinction. But what they saw now was different. They saw coordination, control, and patience. They saw ships that could outmaneuver entire fleets. They saw humans who had prepared for centuries quietly without drawing attention. "Impossible," one elder species muttered. They were supposed to be weak. They were supposed to be primitive. "They learned," Lena said simply, "and learning is not weakness, it is survival." Outside the Citadel, the Drathari fleet began to reposition. Their weapons were armed and their energy signatures flared. They intended to intimidate, to remind humans that the galaxy had not forgotten its rules. Ethan Cole's hand rested on the railing. He had no fear. "Remember," he said quietly, "we will not fire unless we must. But if they touch a single human ship, we respond. Total efficiency." No hesitation. The fleet outside shimmered in the orbital light. Each human vessel mirrored the others, moving like a single organism. The alien fleet paused, uncertainty creeping into their calculations. Their advanced sensors had not anticipated these formations. They had no data on the human ships' adaptive shields, no history of their tactics, no record of human precision. Madison Brooks spoke to the Admiral quietly. "They're confused. Their targeting algorithms are failing. Every weapon that tracks us is losing lock. They may not attack now." "Good," Ethan said. "We are not here to conquer, we are here to be seen, and we will not bow." Inside the Citadel, the empty chair seemed to glow softly. It was still a simple seat, a relic of the past, yet now it carried meaning. Humanity had survived centuries of doubt, disaster, and disbelief. Now it demanded recognition. A technician's voice rang out from the chamber floor. "Unidentified ships entering subspace range." The floating moderators flickered. Emergency lights bathed the chamber in red. Delegates shouted in alarm. The Drathari moved to their weapon stations. Other species panicked, unsure what to do, but then Lena Morales raised a hand. Her calm voice cut through the chaos. "Do not fire, you see them. We are here. Nothing more needs to be proven. Watch. Listen. Understand." She projected a detailed map of human capabilities. It was not boastful but clear. Range, speed, shield capacity, and maneuverability. It was enough to show that humanity had prepared for war if necessary, but also enough to show that they preferred peace. The Drathari hissed. "They speak of peace, yet they enter our space armed." "They are cautious," an Averin delegate said. "They have reason to be. Observe their formation. Observe their control. This is not aggression but preparation. Ethan Cole spoke into the secure fleet channel. All captains maintain formation, continue demonstration, no attacks, keep shields adaptive, show restraint. Humanity's presence here is proof enough. The human ships moved with calm precision. They sent pulses of energy through empty space, creating patterns that disabled simulations of the Citadel's weapons arrays. No real damage was done, but every alien delegate understood the message. Human technology was advanced, coordinated, and deadly if needed. The chamber fell silent. Even the Drathari, usually loud and aggressive, stopped their shouting. They had never seen anything like this. The Avarin whispered among themselves, a sound like wind through metal tubes. Lena Morales continued to speak. Your galaxy assumed we were gone. It assumed we were weak. It assumed we would never return. Yet here we are. Earth survived. Humanity endured. And now we claim our rightful place. Delegates shifted uncomfortably. Older species looked at the empty chair and then at Lena. Some could feel the weight of history, the centuries of assumptions proven wrong. Do you expect us to believe this? A tall, thin alien asked. You speak of survival, yet you arrive with ships unseen in our records. You have no history in our databases. How can we verify your claims? Ethan Cole stepped into view on the projection feed. He did not need to raise his voice. His calm presence alone carried authority. We have no need to prove ourselves to those who assumed we failed. The truth is in what you see. We have survived. We have grown, and we will not bow. You may choose to accept this fact or ignore it at your own risk. The chamber shifted. Delegates exchanged worried glances. For the first time, the galaxy understood that humans were not a species to dismiss lightly. Outside in the dark of space, the human fleet remained in formation. No weapons were fired. No shields flared aggressively. Yet the presence alone was a statement. Humans were here, capable of destruction, yet restrained. Lena Morales's voice continued, soft but firm. We come seeking acknowledgement. We come seeking our place at the table. We do not come to subjugate, we come to participate. But understand this, we will not kneel, we will not bow, we will not be forgotten again. A long silence followed. The Drathari hissed angrily but did not fire. The Avarin whispered. Other species looked at each other, unsure of what to do next. Finally, the chair in the center of the chamber seemed less like an empty relic and more like a challenge. A question to the galaxy. Could it accept a species that had defied all expectations? Could it accept humans as equals? Ethan Cole and Lena Morales watched from their bridge, knowing the first move had been made. The galaxy had been reminded that Earth was alive. Humanity was present, and humanity would not bow. The stage was set for recognition, or confrontation. But for now, the human fleet held, calm and ready. History would remember this moment, the moment humanity stepped out of silence and returned to the galaxy. If you want, I can continue with part 3, where the chamber remained quiet, but tension had spread like fire through every corner. Delegates whispered to each other in their own languages, sending messages through translation matrices. The Drathari, always quick to anger, glared at the human's holographic image. Their armored bodies were stiff, claws clicking, ready for an attack. The Avarin were less aggressive, but their thin hands trembled slightly. They had never seen a species like this. Humans who could survive centuries alone, who could build such precision in space vessels, who could appear suddenly without warning and still hold their presence without fear. Lena Morales continued to speak, her voice steady, cutting through the tension. You have judged Earth for centuries. You assumed we were extinct, too fragile, too divided to survive. We were all those things, but we endured. We survived wars, disasters, and disease. We learned from every mistake. We became stronger. A low growl came from the Drathari delegate. Words are not enough. Show us your strength. Show us why we should not destroy you. Ethan Cole stepped forward in the projection feed, his calm gaze steady. "You will see. Not because we seek to dominate, but because we will not be underestimated." At that moment, outside the Citadel, the human fleet moved. Ships that had appeared small in orbit now shifted into intricate formations. Light flashed along their hulls as they maneuvered. Some vessels split apart and reformed, showing agility that no conquered fleet had ever demonstrated. Others projected pulses of energy that disrupted the targeting systems of the Citadel's defensive drones. The patterns were beautiful, like a choreographed dance, but deadly precise. Madison Brooks spoke calmly from her console. "Their main defense arrays cannot lock onto us. All weapons tracking failed. If they fire, our countermeasures will neutralize them instantly. They do not know what they face." "Good," Ethan said. "Let them see. They must understand that humanity is not weak. That survival has made us capable." The holographic feed inside the chamber shifted. The delegates watched, some frozen in awe, some trembling with fear. The Drathari hissed and shifted in place. They had never expected this level of precision, this coordination, this calm in the presence of potential danger. Lena Morales projected another image. Humans training in orbit, practicing maneuvers in zero gravity, building ships in vast hidden shipyards on the Moon, Mars, and in asteroid belts. "We have prepared for centuries," she said. "We did not emerge suddenly. We have been learning, growing, and readying ourselves for this moment." The Drathari delegate's claws scraped the floor again. "This is impressive, but impressive does not equal threat. Perhaps your people are clever, perhaps your ships are fast, but what of battle? Show us your strength in action. Let us see if your fleet can survive combat against real opposition." Ethan Cole nodded. "They will have that chance, but on our terms. Captain Brooks, initiate tactical demonstration. Keep it controlled. No destruction of inhabited areas." Madison tapped a few commands. Outside the Citadel, small, uncrewed craft appeared near the human fleet. They carried simulated weapon systems that would allow the humans to engage without risking lives. "Demonstration in progress," Madison said. "Targeting arrays calibrated. Systems ready." The human fleet began a coordinated attack simulation. Pulses of energy streaked through space, disabling the sensors of the test drones instantly. The drones attempted to fire back, but their targeting systems failed. Their shields fluctuated and their movement slowed as the human fleet's precise maneuvers disabled them. Inside the chamber, delegates gasped. Even the Drathari, who were proud and aggressive, could not hide their shock. "This is not possible," one whispered. Lena Morales's voice remained calm. "This is possible because we learned, because we prepared, because we refused to be forgotten." Outside, the demonstration continued. Human ships twisted and turned in synchronized patterns, creating energy pulses that spread across the simulation grid. Each pulse disrupted multiple drones at once, showing that a single maneuver could neutralize an entire fleet if necessary. "This is only a demonstration," Ethan said over the secure channel. "We are not here to destroy, but if provoked, we will respond efficiently. No hesitation, no mercy, precision only." The Drathari hissed angrily. "They speak of peace, yet they show such power. What kind of species prepares in secret like this?" "Humans," Lena said quietly. "We are a species that survives, that learns, that adapts, and that refuses to bow to fear or power." Delegates whispered among themselves. Some were worried, some were curious. No one had seen a species like this. The galaxy had assumed humans were weak. They had been wrong. Then the demonstration shifted. Human ships split into multiple groups, each performing different maneuvers. Some moved in fast spirals, some created energy barriers in space, and some projected pulses that simulated disabling the Citadel's outer defenses. The precision was beyond what most species believed possible. The Drathari delegate raised a claw and hissed sharply. "Enough. You prove that you can survive, But can you stand against true force? Can you stand against the combined fleets of the conquered? Ethan Cole's calm voice answered. We do not need to prove that. You will learn it soon enough if you underestimate us. But for now, see our discipline, see our coordination. Understand that survival has made us strong, and that we will not bow to anyone. The chamber remained silent. Even the moderators were still, their lights dimmed in respect or fear. The empty chair at the center seemed to shine faintly, a symbol of humanity's arrival. Lena Morales continued. You assumed our weakness. You assumed our disappearance. You forgot us, but we did not forget the galaxy. We have watched. We have learned. And now we are here. Outside, the human fleet maintained its formation. Ships did not fire aggressively. Their movements were precise but non-threatening. Yet the display was enough to show the galaxy that humanity had returned. Not as a weak or forgotten species, but as one capable of matching or exceeding any known force in strategy and coordination. The Averin delegates spoke, their voice trembling. We underestimated you. Perhaps we were wrong to dismiss a species so young and small. But your discipline, it is unlike anything we have recorded, the Drathari hissed. Discipline does not make you invincible, power does, and we will test that power if you continue to appear as a threat. Ethan Cole pressed another key. On the projection feed, human ships performed another maneuver. This time, they demonstrated defensive strategies. Energy barriers appeared between ships, forming a protective net. Missiles and energy pulses simulated attacks, but the humans neutralized them instantly without a single failure. This, Ethan said quietly, is how we protect ourselves, without hesitation, without waste, precision, discipline, coordination. Delegates leaned forward, some whispering among themselves. Even the Drathari's aggressive stance faltered slightly. They had never seen a species with such combination of patience, intelligence, and readiness. Lena Morales raised her hand. This demonstration is only a fraction of our capabilities. You have assumed we were gone. You have assumed we were weak. Now you see the truth. Humanity survived. Humanity is strong. And humanity will not bow. The room remained quiet. Every species was processing what they had seen. They had expected humans to be primitive, emotional, divided, easy to ignore. They had been wrong. Ethan Cole turned to his officers. Hold formation. Do not provoke. Let them see. Let them understand. Outside, the human fleet mirrored his orders. Ships held their positions, glowing softly against the light of the artificial star at the center of the citadel. Then from a side platform inside the chamber, a young alien delegate whispered, "Perhaps they have earned their place." The Drathari hissed and turned away. The Averin looked thoughtful. Other species began to nod slightly, silently acknowledging the human demonstration. Lena Morales's voice echoed once more through the chamber. We do not seek domination. We do not seek conquest. We seek acknowledgement. We seek partnership. But understand this clearly, we will not bow. We will not kneel. We will not be ignored. Humanity survived the impossible. Humanity is here, and the galaxy will remember us. The empty chair seemed to glow brighter. For centuries it had waited, unused, a symbol of doubt and extinction. Now it felt alive, as if waiting for the species that had been forgotten but never gone. Ethan Cole watched from the bridge of Resolute Dawn. Madison Brooks monitored all fleet systems. Lena Morales prepared for the next message. Outside, the galaxy had finally seen humanity. And now the stage was set for the moment the galaxy would have to choose: accept humanity as an equal or test its strength. Either way, the galaxy would remember this day. Humans had returned. Humans were ready. Humans would not bow. The citadel of stars was quiet now, but the tension in the chamber was thicker than ever. Every delegate had turned their attention to the empty chair at the center. For centuries, it had sat unused, a symbol of a lost species. Now it was a question mark, a challenge, a place waiting for the impossible. Outside, the human fleet held in perfect formation, glowing softly against the artificial light of the citadel. Ships of all sizes hovered like a single organism, each movement deliberate, each pulse of energy precise. No weapons had been fired, no shields had flared aggressively, yet every species watching could feel the silent message: humans were ready. Ethan Cole stood on the bridge of the Resolute Dawn, watching the feeds from the Citadel and the fleet simultaneously. Captain Madison Brooks and Ambassador Lena Morales stood beside him, each aware that this moment could define humanity's place in the galaxy. Lena Morales broke the silence. The galaxy is deciding. They see our strength. They see our restraint. Now they must choose to accept us or test us further. A tall Drathari delegate rose slowly, its armored body glinting in the chamber's light. Its claws scraped the floor as it spoke, its voice low and filled with anger. You have shown power, yes. You have shown discipline, but we cannot accept your presence lightly. How can we trust a species that disappeared for centuries? Ethan pressed a key and a live feed of Earth appeared in the chamber, images of blue oceans, forests, deserts, and cities spanning the globe. Humans working together, rebuilding after storms, building ships, training in space. We did not disappear. We survived. We prepared. And now we are here, not to take what is not ours, not to conquer, but to reclaim what was always ours. Delegates whispered among themselves. Even the oldest species who had watched the human seat remain empty for centuries could not deny what they were seeing. Humanity had endured the impossible, and now it had arrived fully prepared, fully alive, and fully capable. A soft murmur came from the Averin delegate. They are not just surviving. They have outgrown every expectation. They have learned faster than any record shows. Perhaps they deserve their place. Lena Morales's holographic image moved closer to the empty chair. This seat has waited long enough, she said softly. It is ours by right, not by conquest, but by survival, by endurance, by proof that we belong among the stars. The Drathari hissed again. Words are nothing. Show us. Show us you can hold this place without us needing to test your strength further. Ethan Cole turned toward the fleet controls. Captain Brooks, execute demonstration final. Keep it controlled. Let them see without destruction. Show the galaxy what humanity is capable of in full. Madison tapped commands, and the human fleet shifted. Ships moved with calm precision, creating patterns in space that simulated a coordinated strike, defensive formations, and rapid response maneuvers. Every move was perfect, every pulse of energy controlled. The human fleet demonstrated the ability to neutralize threats, protect their own, and operate as one mind. Inside the chamber, the alien delegates watched silently. The Drathari hissed, unsure if they could match this precision. The Averin whispered among themselves, clearly impressed. Smaller species leaned forward, eyes wide, realizing that the humans had not only survived but had surpassed every expectation. Lena Morales stepped closer to the empty chair. Her voice was calm but firm. We do not come with demands. We do not come with threats. We come with proof that we belong. This chair is ours because we survived, because we learned, because we endured, and because we will not bow to anyone. For a long moment, no one spoke. The chamber felt frozen, as if the universe itself held its breath. Then the eldest of the delegates, a tall, translucent being who had seen countless civilizations rise and fall, spoke slowly. Perhaps it is time. Perhaps the seat that has waited for centuries should no longer remain empty. The Drathari hissed angrily, but even they were silent. The weight of history pressed on them. They had judged humans before, dismissed them as extinct, fragile, and weak. Yet here they were. Stronger, smarter, and more disciplined than most had believed possible. Ethan Cole's voice echoed through the fleet. Prepare for descent. We are not here to fight. We are here to be seen. Humanity will enter the chamber as proof, not as conqueror. Outside, the human fleet began a slow, deliberate descent toward the citadel. The ships moved in formation, larger vessels leading, smaller vessels following, all moving as one. Energy pulses lit their hulls, a display of power and precision without aggression. Inside the chamber, the alien delegates stepped aside. The energy field at the center opened to allow the human delegation to enter. Lena Morales's holographic form slowly faded, replaced by her physical presence, followed by Ethan Cole and a few human officers. They walked toward the empty chair. Each step was careful, deliberate. There was no fear. There was no hesitation. Their presence alone carried authority and dignity. The chamber was silent except for the soft hum of the Citadel's systems. Delegates watched as the humans approached the seat. For centuries it had been empty. Now it would be filled. Ethan Cole stopped at the foot of the chair. He looked at it for a long moment, then turned to the delegates. "We do not seek dominion. We do not seek to rule. We seek recognition. This seat is not a trophy. It is a symbol of survival. Humanity endured when the galaxy thought we could not. Humanity is here, and we will not bow." Lena Morales stepped forward, her hand hovering over the seat before she finally sat. Her posture was straight, proud, but not aggressive. The room seemed to hold its breath. The Drathari hissed in frustration, but their claws no longer scraped the floor. Even they could not deny what had just happened. The eldest delegate nodded slowly. "So be it. The seat is filled. Earth is no longer forgotten." Other species in the chamber murmured. Some bowed slightly in respect, not because humanity demanded it, but because they understood the proof that had been given. Humanity had survived, had learned, and had returned stronger than anyone had expected. Ethan Cole and Madison Brooks remained standing beside Lena, silent, calm, and unafraid. They did not bow. They did not kneel. Their presence alone was proof. Lena Morales looked at the assembled delegates. "Understand this," she said simply. "Humanity has survived. Humanity is capable. Humanity will not bow to anyone. We are here and we will remain. This is not a threat. It is fact." A long silence followed. Then slowly, one by one, delegates nodded, whispered among themselves, or simply stepped back, acknowledging the truth. The seat at the center of the chamber, long empty, now held a species that refused to be forgotten. Outside, the human fleet remained in formation, waiting. They did not need to fire a single shot. They had shown the galaxy their strength, their coordination, and their discipline. That alone was enough. Lena Morales stood and turned to Ethan and Madison. "We have made our statement. The galaxy has seen humanity. Now we wait for the acknowledgement to settle." Ethan nodded. "Yes, we have returned. We have claimed our place, and we will not bow." Madison Brooks smiled slightly. "History will remember this day." The Drathari shifted uncomfortably, but even they could not deny the truth. Humans had returned, fully capable, fully alive, and fully independent. They had survived the impossible. The seat at the center of the chamber glowed softly. It was no longer empty. It carried the weight of centuries of doubt, of disbelief, and of history itself. And now it was filled. The galaxy had been reminded humanity was here. Humanity survived. Humanity would not bow. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy understood a simple truth. Survival was not weakness. Survival was strength. And the species that had been forgotten had returned stronger than anyone had imagined. Ethan Cole, Lena Morales, and Madison Brooks stood together, silent, watching as the delegates adjusted to the new reality. Humanity had returned. Earth's seat had finally been claimed. The galaxy would remember this day forever, and humanity would bow to no one.